So here's what's going on. It's like 5 a.m. It's still dark out, and I'm not entirely sure whether or not I'll make visuals for this video, so I'm going to ask you to use your imagination, regardless of whether or not there are some form of visual aids to guide you along this. What the fudge is the point of AI? Like, genuinely speaking, what is the point of it? When people say it's faster, more efficient, okay, consider this. This. Is it faster? Yeah, but what else are you spending that time on? And if you do have a good reason, like, say, actually, there isn't a good reason for it. You're just because the thing that people fail to realize about human beings, we're not great at processing things too fast. Why do you think when 50 different people are asking you to do something all at the same time, you get overwhelmed? You have to find ways to compartmentalize it. You have to find ways to break it down and organize it into various parts and subparts. Because human beings work best when they actively have time to process and understand the information they are being given. Human beings work best when they can take time to actually deconstruct things. And before somebody says, well, not if you're on that mindset or whatever dumb, idiotic garbage you wish to spout, please just hear me out. Say you want to try coding. And your first thought is going to be, but I'm not smart enough to do that. Yes, you are. Most people in this world are actually idiots. Your politicians, idiots. CEOs, idiots. Every singular person you think is successful, every singular person that you think of being high up in society, they are an idiot. Every singular person in this world is a complete idiot. Me, you, your dog, your mom, your aunt, your grandma, everybody's an idiot, but we all function just fine. The only reason why you can't do that thing you want to do is because you just don't really want to do it. Your brain is keeping you in a place where it thinks you are safest, right? But the thing is, safety doesn't get you anywhere except lying down in a bed, rotting in your own refuse. So, consider this. Let's say you get over the hurdle of not being able to do it. You might ask, why not just use AI for it? And the only answer I can really give you is pride. Not integrity, not any form of higher level thinking. It is pride. It is not some form of grand revelation. It is not in any way, shape, or form integrity or ambition. It is pride. That is why you should do it yourself. Pride. It doesn't matter if you have a machine do it. Why would you want a machine to do it? Do it because it's faster, more efficient? And screw that. I don't care about being fast. I don't care about being efficient. I care about stroking my own ego. I don't care if I'm working on one thing until the day I die. I merely care for my pride. That is why you should not let a machine do it. So let me walk you through this process, right? You start coding, look up a tutorial, maybe try and figure out what coding language do I want to use. You look it up, and let's say you decide on Python. And so you look up some tutorials. A few short ones, a few simple ones, and you do pretty good. So you move on to something a bit more advanced, and you hit a roadblock. Not because there's not the material. No, you're watching the material, and there's something that keeps going wrong. You keep running it. You keep checking for spelling errors. You made quite a few, but then you keep running it over and 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 over again. And then you decide, know what? I need someone with a bit more experience, who again is not smarter than you. They're just a bit better at being an idiot. So, you look that up, maybe go on Stack Exchange, maybe go to a Discord server. And then, depending on what your overall disposition is, you will get 2 general responses from yourself when you find out what the problem is. And the problem was, you missed a comma. A singular comma screwed up the entire project. Now, if you're someone who has not developed a pain tolerance to annoyance, setbacks, inconveniences, you will be annoyed at this. But if you're somebody who has learned that it's just part of how things go, man. It's not going to be the big stuff that messes you up. You're going to notice the big stuff almost immediately. The small stuff, however, that's what's going to trip you up. The difference between a pebble and a boulder is you can trip on a pebble, you can't really trip on a boulder. And so you laugh it off, or if you're, again, someone who has not developed a sort of humor about this, you will be annoyed and you will step away from this. But you're going to come back. Why? Because pride. It is not a matter of ambition. It is not a matter of integrity. It is a matter of pride. And you, being the stubborn person that you are, cannot let your pride go wounded so easily and not let the transgression know that it did not beat you. And that is what I want you to focus on. That pride. So, now I shall ask you a question. How do you think it feels to be a god? How do you think it feels to be a being that can just take the world in its hand and mold it as it sees fit? For me, I personally believe that it feels a lot like coding or drawing or anything such as that. So, another thing I would like to ask is, why would I surrender the reins of the ability to create, to mold something with my own hands, to a pathetic machine made by some pathetic, worthless, garbage CEO whose life is so pathetic and empty that they have to rely on overhyped machines because they themselves are lesser than thou. That is pride. Just in case you were wondering what it was. It's not any form of grand ideal. It's not ambition. It's not integrity. It's not even some grand design of yours. It is merely the refusal to surrender based sheerly on the principle of such things. Because it doesn't matter to you, you prideful, wonderful, truly so wonderful person. It matters because it's you against them, and you don't want to lose. It is not you wanting to meet them. It is sometimes not even you wanting to beat them. It is just being able to say that I ran in this race and I did it in a way that was better than you, you pathetic little shrub. No offense to any shrubs that may be listening. So, that's it. That is the message of this particular thing. It is pride that make man great. It is pride that, while yes, it does come before your fall, but in order to fall, you must have climbed. In order to slip, to tumble, to spiral down the mountain, you must have tried to climb. So next time when you hear somebody tout the oh so wondrous benefits of AI, tell them this. I can't code that fast. Probably can't even code that good. But I did this with my bare hands. I exhumed this from nothing or from a template that I barely understood. And I did that without letting a pathetic clanker do the job for me. Think about that. The next time you think that AI is the future. Thank you for listening. I have been your host, A, and I will see you all later. Arrivederci.